cockiness, some would call it being a diva. When you're good, it's not bragging. And elite wide receivers and the confidence they exude often permeates an entire team, and we're going to see a couple of examples of that in this one. Welcome, everyone, to the home of the Fighting Irish, South Bend, Indiana, beneath the Golden Dome and Notre Dame Stadium. As we'll see, the number 14 team in the country, the Florida Gators, taking on the third-ranked team in the land, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. Notre Dame looking for a strong kick to get this one underway. He'll bring it out. It's Abrams. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. Give to Brown. And the visitors have nothing doing as they are greeted rudely on the opening play of the game. Let's take a second to look at the big picture for Florida. They've climbed into the top 15, reached a little bit of a checkpoint, haven't they? Playoff is 12 teams. But it's right about this range and people start tuning in to see what you can do, to see if you're the real deal. Isn't that right, Dave?
Yeah, and cheering against you, right? Like a lot of times because their teams are doing well or competing with you. But let's see if the squad can build on the momentum. Starting to get some momentum, some love. Now, Jesse, how do they handle that?
I'm excited to see how this team is going to finish, too, because we know they've got talent. They've got guys that can take the game over. The question I have now moving forward, can they do it on the biggest stages? And today, it's about as big as it gets.
You want to talk about shaking down thunder from the sky. That's what they're doing here on third down. Under fire. And it's incomplete, but there's a flag in the backfield. Let's see who the call's on. This defense happy with how that last play turned out, so they'll decline the penalty. The Gators will try to pin them back with the punt. They'll boot it away for the first time tonight. Sends his first one of the day on its way, and that matches the number of appearances he had in that win last week. Not able to pop the big return, but they've got the ball back and ready to go with a fresh possession. Looking to throw, it's Carr. Finds his man. They'll mark him out of bounds right at the 45-yard line. Deep in the season, that crisp air all around you, and this feels like a must-win game, guys.
This is a game that will impact the college football playoff. It'll have conference championship implications, and it'll have bowl game implications as well. David, so much riding on the line this week.
And you can feel it, man. You can feel the energy. The players this week, they were on high. Like, you could tell they were ready for the challenge. This is going to be an absolute showdown.
The Irish trying to keep this drive moving on third and short. Tries to surge ahead on the sneak. Just nowhere to go against this defense to find that single yard he needed on third down.
Well, and he gets stuffed on that QB sneak. He's just not doing a really good job of reading the crease and finding a little space to kind of tuck into and drive his feet. He's just running himself into a wall, Dave.
Well, and how about the big boys up front? Make a crease. Push somebody back. Create some space. There was nowhere to go.
A bold decision to go for it on fourth down, and one that did not pay off. Looks as if he's going to run it. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming. Got a little work done on first down, now back to the line. Give to the back. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
You know what I really like about games like this at this point in the season? You find out who you are. You find out whether you're going to stay in the race.
And who can step up and handle the challenge, right? This is easily one of the toughest games to date for both of these programs coming into this one. So there's a lot of eyeballs, David, on this game to find out who's mentally and emotionally the toughest.
Yeah, and we're going to point to this game as we get later in the year and big decisions are made. You've got a top 25 win. You beat them in the middle of the season, X, Y, and Z, so these are big for the resume.
And the Gators will try to move the chains on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Drop the football, and they'll turn it over on downs. Desperately wanted to convert on 4th down, but couldn't do it. Offense in a bunch formation. To the air, it's Carr. Right on the money. They'll stop him at the 41, but he's got 10 yards, and they'll move the chains. Good job by the receiver there, not to run into coverage, but to find a spot that the quarterback could throw him the ball.
Yeah, on those types of routes, Reese, they say if you're looking, you're booking. So if that's man coverage, the receiver's staring at the quarterback all the way across the field. That time, the receiver didn't give the quarterback his eyes, so they were on the same page. They both knew it was zone, and they executed that perfectly.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
Just too much of a rush, and down goes the quarterback just behind the midfield stripe at the 49. The Irish send out the punt unit. He ought to be able to use this first punt to pin him deep. Fields the punt and tries to find an opening. And you make the stop, and that is exactly what you want out of your punt cover unit. Opening play of this drive comes from the 12-yard line. Looking downfield on 1st down. And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't hook up.
Obviously not the start this quarterback was hoping for, guys. He's now 0 for 4 to start the game throwing it. He just can't seem to find a rhythm. He's not finding his receivers. I'm even wondering if he's seeing the field that well at all. But no surprise, when you start the game 0 for 4 at QB, you've got no points on offense.
And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
They've got them pinned deep in their own end, and this crowd trying to help keep them there. Looking for a man. It's Evans. Right down the middle. Found a seam. They make the stop, but not before he wraps up this first period with a huge gain. Well, based on that, we can hope to see a little more offensive explosion here in the second quarter as we get ready to get things started. They've got a first down here to open the period. They'll move the tight end. Quickly out to the tight end. And that defense pushing him out of bounds after a short gain.
You know, tight ends are such matchup nightmares and problems for defense. They're too big for DBs to cover, and they're too fast for linebackers to cover. You saw it right there.
They're dealing with a second and long. Out of the gun, the give to the back. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
I'll tell you, this defensive end, not only can he pass rush, but he can play the run as well. You see him beat the offensive lineman there trying to block him, and get in the backfield to make that tackle for loss. That was impressive.
Off the play fake. Might be looking to run. Makes the grab. It's Brown. Oh, what a move to get open. Plenty of room on that play, and they find their way to the 36.
It's a scoreless game, but it feels like after that completion, that may finally break. It's been tough sledding for both of these offenses. That time, they had the matchup they wanted. They took the shot. Really nice throw. Maybe that's the play that generates the first point.
Quarterback can pull the trigger, and down he goes at the 41. What a move to get home for the sack. When the Irish get to the quarterback, sometimes you think Rudy, but this time you think a Dewey.
A Dewey. And listen, the more guys you get like this that can put his hand in the dirt and go get the quarterback, the easier it becomes to call defense. That guy is an absolute stud.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
The volley cheers going on high, and here comes the Thunder being shaken down on third down. Scanning the field, it's Evans. Going over the top. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's fourth down. The Gators will send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Fields to punt and try to pick up some yards. And the returner is stopped. Here come the Irish back on offense. They just didn't quite find the rhythm on that last drive, Jesse. They had to punt it.
I think they got to be more physical, David. I think up front they got to do a better job getting blocks and establishing this running game.
And how easy does football become if you're the more physical team? If you can threaten the run and then run play action, it opens up the whole offense at your disposal.
And he is just engulfed at the line by this giant defensive tackle.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Got it in the middle, it's Williams. They get him down at the 49, but not before he picks up 15. We'll take a quick break as we have reached the final 2 minutes of the first half. Not the most productive half for this offense so far, but finally starting to get it in gear. First and 10. Looking to throw on first down. And the quarterback runs out of time, and down he goes at the 38.
And I think that time he was trusting his pocket awareness and his arm a little bit too much. You've got to remember, you're one of the best athletes in the country playing the position. If you see a crease, you've just got to take off and get it.
Throws to the wideout. Incomplete. And he threw that one up for grabs and into traffic, and fortunate to get it back.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
On third and long, a check down would be the last resort. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down. Notre Dame lining up to punt it away. Makes the catch, wants to make a move upfield. And they'll get him down after the return at the 27-yard line. They take over late and have enough time to put together a drive. Looking to throw, it's Evans. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
We just have not seen this offense look very sharp so far in this game, running or throwing it. In the second half, throwing it specifically, I think they need to find a better rhythm. You've got to find a way to get some completions strung together.
Timeout called here by the defense. It's their first of the half.
And a nice second effort by the back to break a tackle. But how about those defensive backs willing to come up, stick their face in the fan, and make a tackle?
Those are the best run defenses, too, right? It's not just D linemen and linebackers getting all the plays, but it's DBs that are willing to not just cover, but tackle backs in the open field.
On On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
Man, the quarterback threw that ball hard, too. And I know sometimes when you're throwing an in-breaking route, you want to get it to your receiver quickly. But when you try to strain and throw it harder, oftentimes your accuracy is what suffers. And you saw it there on the incompletion.
And the returner will be brought down. Here we go. They'll try to get something on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Wants to go up top on 1st down. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Well, they were trying to sneak him out of the backfield that time into the passing game, but that did not fool anybody on defense. What a hit, forcing that incompletion.
Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Red pass, it's complete. At the 40, there he goes. He gets it inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 29, and they are rolling. Notre Dame will come to the line after that huge gain and try to keep the momentum going. Finds his man in the middle. And that's a very productive 1st down play and bringing up 2nd and 3. Back to throw, it's Carr. Skips away from pressure. He'll pull it down and run. Nice run there, picks up a few, and they'll force him out of bounds.
Quarterbacks have a hard job. They got to drop back and try to see the whole field and then see the rush coming to him. But you can tell he did a really good job scrambling outside the pocket, improvising, making a play with his feet, and then getting the 1st down.
Notre Dame ready to go with another 1st down. They're looking to pass from the red zone. Unloads to the wideout. Touchdown, Irish! And they have the 1st points of the game.
Finally, somebody's able to get on the board. This game was sending offensive football back to the 1930s. Great job of executing. I know this is a defensive stalemate. I don't know how many points we're going to see in the 2nd half. Guys, that touchdown, that might be all they need based on what we've seen here in the 1st half.
They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. Oh, look at Mr. Hands taking the squibber inside the 30. They finally get him stopped after he maneuvered his way to the 42. Inside 30 seconds to play in the half. We'll see how aggressive they are on this drive. They'll start this drive going to the air. Makes the grab. Turning it on. Defense needs to regroup as he gets it down to the 26. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Looking to pass. It's Evans. Here's a heat. They get to him as he throws. Oh, he makes the play. It's intercepted. He'll try to take it back. He's inside the 40. He's at the 20. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. How about this defense taking one back to the house?
And that's the way you execute on offense, man. You keep your foot on the gas. Try to make this a 2-score game. You do with that touchdown. This offense executing beautifully. The defense is going to have to find something in the 2nd half to get some stops.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point makes it 14-0. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. The the Gators will boot it away to start the second half. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. They start this third quarter with the lead, but they might want to think about shoring up that protection.
Yeah, the good news is you're leading on the scoreboard. The bad news is your quarterback doesn't feel like it because you can't protect him. So, David, adjustments in pass protection, that has to be something they were talking about here at halftime.
100%. Just you can't get him hit that much. He's still doing a good job delivering the football, but if you keep hitting the quarterback enough, man, they'll start to see ghosts, they'll panic, and they'll make some of those mistakes.
Back to pass, it's Carr. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
On third down, he drops to throw. Makes the catch. And it's a catch, but he's got enough for the first down.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that third down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Motion from the wide receiver. Wants to fire on 2nd down. Grab near the sticks. It's Payne. Stopped at the 47-yard line. A 10-yard gain, and they'll move the markers.
The defense has got to be able to make a play at some point here in the second half. You're down 2 possessions. You need to steal a possession badly. You need to have a takeaway. The coverage is going to have to be way tighter than on that last throw. Otherwise...
Oh, it's picked off. Oh, that's not the way to start a drive. Looking for more room. He's at the... and he's going to score on the interception. Touchdown, Gators!
And they come up with a huge pick six, and that is one of the reasons this defense has been so dominant all season long. They don't give up big plays, but they take the football away. And once they do, they've got better athletes than you do. They're hard to bring down. They can flip the game on a dime.
Ready to try the point after. And after the extra point, they've cut the lead in half, down 14-7. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, wanted to give you a quick update on a game happening in the American. UAB is in front. They've controlled the line of scrimmage today. They still have some work to do to put this in the win column. They're up by 7 over Boston College. Ought to be fun, fellas, to see how things play out in this notable matchup in the American.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Gives it on the option. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And you're seeing on both sides really hard to run the football in this one. You've got to give both of these defenses tons of credit. They are so physical up front. These defensive lines can take the game over, and right now it's tough sledding on the ground.
And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. Third down coming. And now let's see if the offense can bail itself out after the 2nd down misfire. To throw, it's Carr. And a missed opportunity on 3rd down as the defense knocks it free, and 4th down is coming up. The Irish send out the punt unit. He'll try to really get into this one. Hauls it in, looking for space. The coverage team was down there to corral him. They made the stop, and they'll mark it at the 39. They'll put the ball in play from just inside their own 40 at the 39. Trying to make that rush think on the draw play here. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be first down.
The quarterback and the offensive line really do a good job. What do? They sell pass first. Everything looks like pass. Nope, they hit you with a run. Really great job working together with a little bit of misdirection.
He's taking the shot. Touchdown, Florida! They punctuate the chance with a trip to the end zone.
Well, as a defense, you know you're going to see the go route, especially against this guy. He does it to defenses, it seems, every single week, and so they're not able to get back deep enough. They get run by, he makes the catch, and then runs it into the end zone. They're going to have to change up their coverage and get some safety help up over the top because this guy's speed is a problem.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Hold it. Finds his man on the left. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage.
He was not fooled on that one. You know, a lot of times you want to buy space, and you throw this route really when it's off coverage, but you could tell the cornerback was up, ready to come, pounce on that screen, and get the tackle for him.
And he's to the 48-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down.
Nice play there. And I know when you think Notre Dame football, you're thinking about running the football and all those NFL offensive linemen they have, but when you've got playmakers like him on the perimeter, you've got to be able to take advantage of him. This guy has the chance to play on Sundays. He's too good. If you've got a window to throw and that guy's out running a route, give him an opportunity.
He'll be forced out of bounds. Big pickup on the play, and they'll mark him down at the 28. They'll have to hustle if they want to get off another snap before the end of the period. What a ride. It's been through the first 3 quarters of this game. We are all tied up. Let's check out some stats. This is when winning plays are made, and we start right now in the 4th. Final stands of the game, and we'll start with the first down. Direct snap. Look out, he's got room. There he goes. Touchdown, Notre Dame. And they grab the advantage, taking the lead here in the 4th. The extra point is good, and now in the 4th, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. Curious call here as they line up for an onside kick with the lead in a one-possession game in the 4th. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. He'll bring it out. It's Abrams. He stopped at the 23, a couple yards short of where he would have been with a touchback. Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. Not the day they had hoped to have, but when you are a ranked team, you are going to get everyone's best shot, and now let's see if they can pull this one out. And he has a solid gain on the play before sliding.
He does a good job of dropping back, going through his progressions. Nothing there. What do I do? Go get some yards. Make it positive. Don't sit back in the pocket and force something into a bad situation or take a sack. Great job making something out of nothing.
Wants to throw. It's Evans. He's picked off, and he's thrown a dozen of them. Got some room to run. And he is taking it all the way back. Touchdown, Irish. That score pushes us out to a comfortable margin, and they are oh so close to a 10-game winning streak.
Man, what a play by this defense. You're trying to get the ball back to your offense, trying to salt this game away and get the win. Not only do you create the turnover, you get the touchdown. Now you take a 2-score lead late in this ball game. This defense just stepped up in a big moment.
He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. The Gators sending the offense back to work. Things had not gone the way they had planned, but maybe an opportunity to salvage this bumpy ride so far and avoid the upset. And he throws another interception, his third of the night. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
Heat up them pass rushers, bring in them DBs. That's what I'm doing in this situation. When I got the lead by a couple scores late in the ball game, in the fourth quarter, I'm going to rush the passer like crazy. I'm going to put all those DBs back playing the pass. That's what happened. Great job understanding they're going to have to take shots. We get the interception. This one's almost over.
And the throw to the sideline is complete, but won't be enough for the first down.
You see a lot of offenses late in the football game with a lead get conservative. I like they didn't. Like, they trusted the passing game. You're going to get looks that you know what they are. Defense has to be aggressive. You know, they have to be aggressive because they're down. They've got to get to the quarterback. They've got to get stops. Nice job throwing the football.
They'll put it in play from the 27, first down. Wants to adjust the pattern. Dropping back, it's Carr. Gets rid of it. Got his man. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one.
I love an offense that wants to stay aggressive. Even when you've got the lead late in the game like this, right? You still try to find your playmakers and get them the ball in space, and that is exactly what this offense is doing.
The Irish come to the line facing second and short. Back to pass. They're working that left side. He steps out of bounds, but he's got enough for a first down.
This offense is not letting up, guys. They've got a lead here late, and they are still taking shots. They're still looking for explosive plays. This defense just has not had an answer here all game long.
It's complete to the right. Now the connection takes it to the 11.
This slot receiver gives defensive coordinators nightmares. You have got to double him virtually on every pass play. He better have safety help over top. Otherwise, this guy's a threat to score every time they throw the ball.
Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Wants to throw it. A lot of defenders around on that screen. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
And what a nice play by the DB. You have to understand, that wide receiver gets that ball that quick. It's tough to get him on the ground. Nice job getting a hold of him, getting him on the ground for no gain.
Third and long, and they'll need to get it close to the goal line to convert. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. Quick strike through the air for the score. That ought to be enough to make this lead insurmountable, and with it, they'll be a perfect 10-0.
With that last touchdown, they remain undefeated. And what can you say about this offense? One of the most explosive in the entire nation, and they're coming in, I think, every week with the mindset that we're just going to outscore everybody. We are okay going into a track meet, and that's really what we saw in this game today. But opponents just cannot keep pace with them and all of the athletes they have on the offensive side of the ball.
They'll try to add another to their lead. Looks as if the defense was a little too eager there, got into the neutral zone, and that'll be a 5-yard penalty. So that is